Interleague play continues for the Cardinals tonight. A brief three-game homestand. Detroit in town. They're 34-29. The Cardinals 4 games above the 500 mark. Al Raboski, Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. 2 great hitters featured in this series, Albert Pujols and Maglio Ordonez.
Yeah, they're awesome hitters, especially in interleague play. You see, Albert leads all time with his .352 average in interleague play, and Maglio Ordonez is 5th spot with his .339.
Ordonez just a couple of seasons ago won the American League batting championship. In that season, hit over .360, but his power numbers have been down here in 09.
He's a .320 career hitter, so you think that when it's all said and done, those numbers are going to be there, but it is a bit surprising, only 2 home runs at this juncture.
So that's 2 sluggers. When we come back, we'll talk about the 2 hurlers here tonight, a pair of right-handers. Good matchup with Adam Wainwright and Justin Verlander. The Tigers and the Cardinals, a rematch of the '06 World Series just around the corner here on Fox Sports Midwest. Wainwright here at Busch Stadium with an ERA that's under 3. He'll be opposed by Justin Verlander. Verlander 7-2, ERA just over 3 this year, and now arguably the hottest pitcher in baseball.
Exactly right. Verlander is 7-0 with an ERA at 1.10 in his last 9 starts. So ever since he signed with Detroit, he was the #2 overall pick. '06, he was the American League Rookie of the Year, and right now is looking for a Cy Young. He'll be opposed by Adam Wainwright, and the question to me is, where is Adam's velocity? Where's the consistency in his 12-6 curveball? He leads the club in strikeouts, but also walks.
Last time out against Florida, a win for Wainwright as he went 7 innings in a 13-4 lopsided victory over the Florida Marlins. Home runs for a cause when we come back on Fox Sports Midwest. Over the last few days, the Home Run Challenge has raised over $650,000 for prostate cancer research, and there's more to come. The challenge ends on Father's Day, and in recent years, Dad's Special Day has seen its share of game-changing home runs. Launch to right center field, and look at this! Gloss wins it with a home run!
Gloss hadn't got a hit the whole series. He saves his big fly walk-off home run for this occasion this afternoon on Father's Day.
Oh, Hank Blaylock drives it deep to right field. See you later! A 2-run shot for the Hammer.
That low. That was quick.
Blaylock unloads.
Fly ball into the gap to the wall. Gone! Oh my goodness, Chris Shelton with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th has tied us again. Fly ball left field. See you later. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, get up! Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Carlos Lee! Oh man, another big-time finish. El Caballo.
And a blast to right field by Mientkiewicz. It is gone! A home run!
Driven to right field. This one's back. Oh, and the Twins win it 10-9.
Hey! Folks, the wait is over. That's gone. Number 500 is your ticket to the Hall of Fame. And yes, the Griffey family can celebrate as well as the Reds family.
Great memory back at Busch. You can donate by calling 800-798-CURE or by going to prostatecancerfoundation.org. Last year's Home Run Challenge raised $2.5 million. This year, with your help, we can do more. Speaking of more, we have more baseball just around the corner. It's the Detroit Tigers and the St. Louis Cardinals from Busch Stadium in just a moment. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. With just the right taste, it never fills you up. The difference is drinkability. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. By Auto Tire, for the lowest prices in town, we shop the competitors so you don't have to. And by Chevy, see your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at STLchevy.com. We have an absolutely gorgeous night for baseball. Rain was in the area this morning here in St. Louis and early this afternoon, but now it is sunshine. Their first pitch, and it has been hot here this afternoon as both teams took batting practice on the field, and we're expecting over 40,000 here tonight. Look at Jim Leland's lineup from the American League Central Division, and here it is. Don Kelly will play left field and lead it off. He's hitting .333. Then Placido Polanco, Maglio Ordonez, Miguel Cabrera. You see he's off to another good start. Curtis Granderson, Brandon Inge, Gerald Laird, Ramon Santiago, and Justin Verlander. He'll see his first time at the plate this year. They will face Adam Wainwright coming off a win, and his numbers are brought to you by Marshall Wireless. He's 6-4 this year.
He's pitched pretty well at home, but actually has a better record on the road with a much higher ERA. And I think we're all waiting to see the consistency from Wainwright, really one of the co-aces of this pitching staff.
A look at the Cardinals defense here tonight. Ozzie Smith, by the way, will join us. When you think about defense, he'll join us in the third. And his favorite player growing up for Joe Thurston, Ozzie Smith. Thurston at third base tonight. Wainwright and Yadier Molina, the battery this evening, and that's presented by Auto Tire. Good to see the Wizard back, and there's Jim Leland. 18th season as a manager. Pittsburgh, Florida, Colorado, and Detroit.
And he finds his team in first place in the Central Division after a very disappointing season a year ago.
It really seems that the American League Central Division is completely up for grabs as the first pitch is taken for a ball. Jerry Lane is our home plate umpire. Here is Don Kelly, the left fielder for the Tigers. And that pitch is a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, he just recalled from AAA last Friday as he hit .339 down there, and a good start at the big league level.
You mentioned velocity with Adam Wainwright, and we talk a lot about his cutter. He's really been cutter happy here in 2009.
And when you do that, it takes away from your fastball, so you're seeing him establish that fastball at least to the first hitter.
And maybe explain that, Al, to a fan, why a cutter would be problematic in a loss of velocity with the fastball.
Well, I think what it also does, Dan, is it takes away from his good 12-6 curveball. But it's a pitch that they feel that they combat left-handed hitters with.
There's a line shot right center field, and the ball gets away from Colby Rasmus, and it goes all the way to the wall. Kelly will wind up at third base as Rasmus was in between really with that liner. Didn't know to dive, to stay back, and he had a ball similar to that over the weekend against Cleveland, and it's a very similar type play that he had against the Indians.
Falling behind the count, you get a very predictable fastball, on a 3-1 count right up in the middle of the plate. Here's what you see, and he's going after that, but it looks like his legs go out from underneath him as he couldn't keep the ball in front of him. So slipping out there, and as you said, a lot of rain in the area the last couple days. I mean, torrential rain, and that ball gets played from a single to a triple.
Here's Polanco, and that pitch is hit out of play. Again, though, it is worth noting, a young player like Colby Rasmus had a similar ball like that over the weekend. It had to be in the back of his mind. Do I come in? Do I dive for it? But bottom line is he's got to try to keep that in front.
Right, and when his legs went out from underneath him, it just took him away from at least taking that off the body or having a chance with a glove to keep it in front of him.
And we know all about Polanco. What a good player he's been over the years. That's it, foul, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, one of our favorites, and many in the Cardinal dugout, particularly Tony La Russa, really appreciates the skill of Polanco. Came through the Cardinal system, pretty much was an opposite field hitter when he was with the Cardinals. Got into the 06 World Series. The Cardinals pounded him inside. He took an offer for that World Series, and the American League has followed.
Polanco just seems to be the ideal #2 hitter in a lineup because he can hit behind the runner. He's willing to sacrifice himself. The ultimate team player.
Team player, and as you said, that ability to hit to the right side. And as you know, the Cardinals pounded him in the '06 World Series. Last season, the American League started following, and it's been a little different. Now he'll hit more balls to left field.
1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball, a beauty in there for a strikeout. First strikeout tonight for Adam Wainwright. Polanco just buckled his knees.
Well, that's the good 12-6 curveball, and we're going to show you on Pitch Tracker not only the velocity but also the track of the ball. As it right down the middle, but because it had that bender at 12-6, you know, you get a lot of hitters frozen with it.
Pitch Tracker, by the way, is accurate to within 1 inch. 3 tracking cameras used for that. So 1 out, infield in, and a runner at third. Magglio Ordonez, been around a long time now, hitting .276. As we noted in the open, only a couple of home runs, and he's driven in 21. Batting champion 2 years ago. A very solid player. He had a radical knee surgery, and at that time Detroit took a chance on him, and it's paid off. Gave him a pretty healthy contract, thinking that he would come back and be 100%, and he has been, and he's put up very good numbers.
Memory serves me right. We saw his major league debut with the White Sox against the Cardinals, and he got a couple hits in that game and really impressed me.
2-0 pitch. Back to Wainwright. Looks back the runner at third. How about momentum shifts, even though it's the first inning? A guy like Verlander might only need 1 run tonight.
You're definitely right about that, and Wainwright's going to do his part to make sure that he doesn't get that run here in the first inning.
Since May 27th, you see that with runners in scoring position, only hitting .190 are the Tigers, and averaging just over 3 runs a game. So 2 teams here tonight really struggling offensively.
And the Cardinals are going to have their work cut out because they're going to see 3 very good pitching arms in this series. And take away the World Series of '06, in interleague play, the Detroit Tigers have really dominated against the Cardinals.
Here is Miguel Cabrera. How do you want to approach this situation? Even though it is the first, runs at a premium tonight. This is their version of Albert Pujols. Do you pitch around him and deal then with Curtis Granderson, who's hitting .259?
I think you go with your game plan. You figure out where you're going to attack him, but you also have that luxury and the knowledge that if you do fall behind the count, do not give in to him.
Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
See, it's 2-0 right now. Instead of sitting there a lesser hitter, you may say, okay, I'm just going to throw something down the middle, keep it down in the zone, try and get a ground ball. But with Cabrera, you know, you do not want to do that. You just try to make pitches off the plate, let him expand his zone and get himself out.
Last pitch, Al at 93, so that's good to see. Velocity's been up. The 2-0 pitch, outside, missed, 3-0. Again at 93. I don't mind this at all because this guy can flat out hit.
And that's what we're saying. You know, he's pitching out here, trying to, you know, make a pitcher's pitch. And if he wants to expand his zone and roll over on it, that's fine. You fall behind 3-0, do not give in to him. Good. That's what you're saying right there. Just go ahead and the unintentional free pass. And then you make sure it only works if you go after the next guy, Granderson.
Granderson with 14 home runs. Many times in his career he's been a leadoff man, but 14 home runs for Jim Leyland's club, and he's batting in the 5th spot tonight behind Cabrera.
He's also hit much better on the road this season than at home, and over the last 20 games he's been doing a lot more production.
So 2 outs, runners at the corners. Breaking ball and a strike. Jerry Lane a little late with those calls.
And when maybe you clarify it to people, when I sit there and said, where's that velocity? We've been seeing all season long that he rarely was touching 90, 91 miles an hour. More consistently 89.
And another sharp breaking ball. A little sharper with that curveball too tonight.
And you know, a lot of the cutters coming to left-handers, where I prefer the breaking ball. And he's gotten ahead of the count here with 2 curveballs. Again, they're going to throw the curveball. Now you have the luxury that even with the man on third, you can bounce it to the Gold Glover behind the plate.
And that's what he did. We talk about it so much, and we beat the point up to death, but the bottom line is, if you have a guy that you can bury that curveball with, you become so much more of an effective pitcher, because you can get that hitter with 2 strikes to chase.
Hitters try to go up there with a game plan. Fastball away, you don't have, or fastball in, excuse me. Bury it in. You know, it's up, but it's in an area where if he swings at that one, he pops it up or swings through it. But Molina accentuated inside, do not leave something out over the plate. There's a cutter. The first time we've thrown the cutter in this sequence, backdoor it.
Outside, and the count runs full.
Now your runner at first base will be taking off. Kelly also, but I mean, he's going to play it a little more conservatively. They want the changeup back to the curveball. That's how he got the first 2 strikes.
Here's a 3-2. The curveball is outside, so back-to-back walks and the bases are loaded. 21 pitches here in the first inning for Wainwright. That has been the issue, is high pitch counts, and it seems like time and again he'll go to that full count with the hitter at the plate. But Adam Wainwright is so good, he is able to pitch around many of those situations.
I don't think he necessarily wanted to walk him there, but Molina tried to throw a new pitch, change up there on 3-2. He didn't want it, through the curveball, and it wasn't a good one. There's a good cutter. There's a good cutter right there.
Brandon Inge struck out and made the final out in the 2006 World Series.
And it was cutter.
And that was against Adam Wainwright. Inge is such a valuable guy. Safe at first. As Pujols tried to sell it, is Granderson. I think Jim Leland knows a thing or two about Molina. And Tony La Russa and Jim Leland watch each other's games all the time. So you know that the scout report is out there. Don't get picked off at first.
Of course, we totally would blame Andy Van Slyke.
Andy Van Slyke, the former Cardinal and now first base coach with Detroit. Of course, he played for Jim Leland for a number of years in Pittsburgh, and he makes his home right here in St. Louis. 1-2 the count.
Albert so far off the line that it was a neat play to get in there.
1-2 pitch. 2-2.
And a lot of people have wondered at times, has Adam Wainwright, who can throw 93, 94, we've seen 93s today, why he's given up on that fastball. And when you don't use it, you lose it.
Every pitch has been away so far in this at bat. 2-2. Off the end of the bat. Into center. Wainwright gets out of the first inning jam. Cardinals coming up in their half of the first. Bottom of the first, and there is no score here in St. Louis. And a look at Tony La Russa's lineup here for game number 1. Schumacher, Rasmussen, Pujols, Duncan, and Kiel Molina, Thurston, Wainwright, and Brendan Ryan. Hitting .327 here in June. Justin Verlander, Marshall Wireless starter. He's made 13 starts, a record of 7-2, ERA just over 3.
But of late, he has been unhittable.
That's slicing, but out of play.
Verlander is 7-0 with a 1.10 ERA with 81 strikeouts over his last 9 starts.
So the question is, what's been the difference from the beginning of the season to now?
Well, a lot of time power pitchers, get off to a slow start.
Schumacher, a fly ball out to left. That's well hit. Kelly is back, and it's over his head and off the wall. And Schumacher winds up at second base. A double for Skip.
This is a very good defensive ball team, but Kelly did not look comfortable going back on that ball at all, as I think the ball got over his head a lot quicker than he thought. Jumps too soon. Been better off taking another step or two back before he tries to jump up and make the catch. And it sneaks over his head, and then it hit off his body. A good start for the Cardinals and Schumacher.
As Rasmus takes a ball.
That's his first AB and first hit off of Verlander, but same thing with Kobe Rasmus. But Duncan's 1 for 3, Molina 3 for 6, and Albert 3 for 5.
Needs to pull it to the right side here. And I'm sure Colby feels like he's got a new life after a little bit of a misplay there in the top of the first. Turned a single, as you mentioned, into a triple, and Wainwright pitched around it. 1-0 pitch. And Colby skies one out to shallow left. Schumacher will have to stay put, and it brings in Albert Pujols. What a fun matchup this should be with Verlander and Albert Pujols. The defense brought to you by Auto Tire. Kelly, Granderson, Ordonez, Inge, Santiago, Polanco, and Cabrera along the infield. And the battery is Verlander and Gerald Laird. First base is open. Do they pitch to him?
Well, he's 3 for 5, so I would say no. Off of Verlander, and once again, Jim Leyland, the ultimate respect that he has for Tony La Russa and Albert Pujols.
And some people say, how could you do this? This is what the fans come to see. Well, Jim Leyland's trying to win games, and why aren't more managers doing this all the time against Albert Pujols?
And in my mind, it's more obvious that you should be doing this because guys have very little command. Remember Adam Harang, who is a good pitcher, and the Carpenters start, a couple weeks ago here at home. He missed location twice when he had a chance to pitch around him, and he beat him with all 3 RBIs.
And so now it's Duncan against Verlander. And our Toyota key to the game. Verlander against the National League Central, 5-0, 1.72 ERA. And opponent's only hitting 192 against him. Remember, the Cardinals saw him in Detroit in the World Series, and Pujols took him deep with an opposite field home run.
And Verlander in interleague play is 8-0 with a 2.30. So it's not just the Central that he's dominating.
Remember, Verlander's a guy at points in his career, his young career so far, that has hit over 100 miles an hour in the gun. He's got a nasty breaking ball, and he's thrown a no-hitter already.
Number 2 overall pick, and nice play by Laird, the ball in the dirt, but number 2 overall pick in the draft. Then he got to 06. He was the American League Rookie of the Year. And that was a pretty good year for both the Cardinals and the Tigers. It's his 4th full season.
2-0 pitch. Duncan lines it into left field. Base hit. Schumacher held up at third base, and now the Cardinals turn with the bases loaded here in the first. Good piece of hitting there by Duncan. Let's go pitch by pitch in this at bat.
Well, we talk about great stuff and the ability to spot pitches. There's a breaking ball that's in on him. Then he tries to repeat it, off-speed pitch. Then the fastball away, and good piece of hitting going with the outside pitch to left field.
So the bases loaded, 1 out.
Remember, he is a strikeout pitcher. So just the mere fact that the Cardinals got the bases loaded doesn't mean they're going to necessarily score. And a little surprising, Ankiel wasn't ready for that first fastball.
Looked like he was ready for something else other than the fastball. Didn't pull the trigger. The 0-1 gets it again, fouled back. And Verlander wasting no time. 2 fastballs. What's that say about his confidence, knowing that Ankiel's a guy with off-speed problems right now, with off-speed pitches?
Well, Ankiel also has problems with fastballs that are up.
Bases loaded and an 0-2 pitch to Rick Ankiel. Almost looks like on that pitch, which was 82, that he slows up his motion just a bit, that you could detect it. Did you see the same thing I did?
I was going to say, you may be able to detect it, but apparently no hitter has been able to detect it.
And that's a little bit low. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Defensively, they shade him a little bit in the outfield to go to the opposite field. Bigger gap out in right center.
And he'll wave at it and strikes out. You have to wonder in the back of his mind, if you're Jose Oquendo, if he thought about taking a chance and sending the runner, as there's the strikeout on the breaking ball, even though it would have been at most times not advised by the third base coach to do it. But in this situation against Verlander, you might think that way.
It's a good point. I know one thing that I've noticed on that play, and you know that Oquendo is always going to err on the side of being aggressive, but Kelly does not have a very strong arm in left field at all. So it would have taken another relay throw to throw it to the plate.
Molina up there and ready for that first pitch at 96. We're expecting a pitcher's duel here tonight, and we've seen now the bases loaded for both teams, and here's the base hit.
Duncan hits the ball maybe a little too hard, and you see Schumacher out there. Pretty hard to send somebody when the ball's in the outfielder's glove, not deep, before your runner touches the third base bag.
And now he's in the hole, 0-2.
And Dan, you always learn to appreciate a pitcher, you know, when they get in a jam. You know, Wainwright responded as he shut down the Tigers, but you look at Verlander now, he's on a mission. And I said, just because they got the bases loaded doesn't mean they're going to score. That pitch right there gets a lot of hitters to chase, but Molina, very disciplined and strikes out rarely, will not offer.
1 ball, then 2 strikes. Bases loaded here in the Cardinals half of the first. Molina spoils the pitch, out of play.
Good way to say that. You know, he spoiled the pitch.
That was at 98 miles an hour. Verlander now is at 20 pitches here in the first inning. Schumacher reached with a double. Intentional pass to Pujols. Base hit by Duncan. Loaded up for the Cardinals catcher Molina. And again, spoiled the pitch as he threw the bat at it. Winds up at the mound. Verlander from Old Dominion, where he was a dominating pitcher in college. Think about Detroit in 06, heavily favored in that World Series, but so much time off after sweeping Oakland. Cardinals went to 7 games against the Mets, and they came in with an edge.
How far over Gunderson is out into right field.
2-2. 99 in our gun there.
Molina's so good at going to the opposite field. They're pitching him away, and then they're shading him in the outfield to hit to right.
The 2-2. Chopped foul. Good at bat here by Yachty.
Verlander tried to go in on the hands right there. Didn't quite get far enough in, and Molina spoils it, fouling it off. Verlander wants to retire him on this pitch. Don't want to run full.
The 2-2 again. Spoiled again.
You can see how tough Molina is. Just that ability to foul off pitches. Pitchers. And almost every hitter, if you're patient enough, the pitcher will make a mistake and give you a pitch you can handle. Either one of these guys are going to be around for a complete game.
Cliff Lee, of course, had a rocky start to the game against the Cardinals, and then boom, boom, boom. That thing was over in 2 hours. 2-2, shallow right, and a base hit from Molina. 2 runs will score. Got here, an outstanding at bat here in the first, and the Cardinals lead it 2-0 on one of the best at bats of the season so far.
Exactly right. You know, I'm not going to say necessarily that was a mistake. It was just a little better piece of hitting as Yachty just keeps on fouling off pitches, and eventually he takes this one off the shoe tops, ball down and away, but just lifts it and just dunks it right down the right field line. 2 runners score, and the Cardinals have runners at the corners.
What a great at bat there by Yadier Molina. As you mentioned, he is so tough to strike out and put the ball in play. A little blue base hit and a 2-0 lead. Here's Joe Thurston. I was watching him as he was out stretching before the game. Ozzie Smith was throwing out the first pitch, and Joe could not take his eyes off him. Grew up in the West Coast, and he said he idolized the Wizard, Ozzie Smith. Slowly hit to first. Cabrera backs up, and that's a foul ball, as Molina was calling it, halfway down to his second base. Thurston didn't really sell it until the very last second, and now the umpires, I believe, want to talk about it.
Jim Leland's going to come out here as the catcher that's trying to sell. And apparently Jim's going to get an interpretation. Plus he gets the baseball.
Won the count on Joe Thurston.
The new daddy.
Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, 2 runners on, and a 2-0 St. Louis lead. A 2-out base hit by Molina has given the Cardinals an early lead. And that's a balk. And a run will score to make it 3-0. Duncan scores to make it 3-0. Molina advances to second base. No argument from Verlander or anybody on the Detroit dugout.
So I just started his windup and then tried to stop it. He realized himself that he committed that mental error.
Thurston pops it up. Cabrera is over and runs out of room. This place is packed here tonight. Busch Stadium in St. Louis. 80 degrees our game time temperature. And only a 3-game homestand, so we're expecting big crowds all 3 nights. By the way, we'll be in the Champions Club tomorrow night. We have sold that out. No tickets available to the Champions Club tomorrow. Sold out.
It'll be a lot of fun tomorrow. I want to tell those people bring their cameras and whatever they want. We'll take pictures with them.
Thurston, right field, base hit. 4-0 Cardinals. Joe on his way to second. He'll stop there. Molina scores. How about this? 4-0, and now Thurston advances to third base.
He was stopped at second base, and a weak throw by Ordonez, and comes right down first base. Nobody there, dribbling down, and McKay was screaming at him and waving him on over to third base. So good piece of hitting, ball up a little bit. He hooks the ball. Thurston leads the club in triples and among the leaders in doubles. You see him standing right there, but now he gets the attention from Dave McKay and scoots on over to third.
Wainwright up there hacking.
Normally when you stop like that, you know, you think it's a double, but without an error being charged,
got to be
give him a triple.
Yeah.
So he pads his lead in triples for the team.
And picks up his 17th RBI, so a big balk by Verlander leads to another run. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. The Cardinals with 4 base hits. Oh, 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and maybe as important with this lead is the fact that he's thrown 32 pitches here in the first inning.
A long first inning with Wainwright on the mound, and that sometimes, you know, you kind of get you off kilter. And how many times we've seen a pitcher have a rough first inning, but then you get in the dugout, you regroup. But your point being that his pitch count is so high that, you know, he's going to be lucky to go 5 or 6.
And what an advantage here for the Cardinals to have a guy like Wainwright as their pitcher hitting in this game, as opposed to Verlander. By the way, the scoring has changed. It's a double E9 on that play for Joe Thurston. Regardless, it's 4-zip St. Louis. Well, before tonight's game, Bruce Bailey of AmeriCorps St. Louis threw out the first pitch in honor of AmeriCorps, reaching 2 million hours of valuable community service to St. Louis and the greater Midwestern region over the last 15 years. Fox Sports Midwest congratulates AmeriCorps for their milestone and thanks them for their service to the community. Laird, Santiago, and Justin Verlander.
Tough road trip for Laird, and really last 17 games he has really struggled at the bat. Less than 150.
Wainwright wasting no time. It's 0-2.
Chomping at the bit when you get that 4-run lead.
There's the curveball chopped towards third. Thurston fires over to first. It's amazing how when you score runs and you hit, you never seem flat. You know, the place is into it. Obviously, as we mentioned before, a huge crowd, and you play with a little extra jump in your step.
No one ever wants to embarrass themselves, but when you have a packed house, it's just that little extra incentive to go out there and, you know, you're energized just by the atmosphere of the crowd.
Here's Santiago, and that pitch is hit out of play. On the road an awful lot are the St. Louis Cardinals, and after this we continue with interleague play. We'll be in Kansas City over the weekend, and then a 4-game series next week with the Mets at Citi Field. How about how their game ended with Alex Rodriguez a chance to win it? With the Mets and Yankees Friday night at Yankee Stadium. There's a ground ball hit to short, gobbled up by Brendan Ryan. Luis Castillo dropped a pop-up which led to 2-run scoring. If you're traveling and can't catch the Cardinals TV broadcast, catch all the action on your computer. Find out more at STLCardinals.com, where baseball is always on. You can also vote for your favorite Cardinal All-Star up to 25 times.
Castillo dropped a pop-up?
Dropped a pop-up, and Teixeira, who represented the winning run, hustling all the way at first base, scored all the way from first. And not many times would you see players, not all, but some would hustle on that play, and he hustled all the way in. As you always say, you never embarrass yourself.
You never embarrass yourself, and boy, you get an awful lot of accolades when you do something like that, just for playing the game the right way.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Broken bat. Look out, Adam. Brendan up with it, makes the play. Cardinals will have Brendan Ryan leading things off. Then Schumacher Rasmus, if anybody can reach, a guy named Albert coming up. Our score 4-0 as we move to the Cardinals half of the second here in St. Louis. Saturday afternoons were made for baseball, and this week Fox brings you the national game of the week. Albert Pujols and the Cardinals will take on the Kansas City Royals this week at 3. It's Fox Saturday Baseball. ultimate Father's Day gift idea. How about this? Play catch with your dad on the field here at Busch Stadium Sunday, June 21st. Play catch with your dad and enjoy a great lunch in the Cardinals Club. Find out more at STLCardinals.com/catch.
I'd look for Verlander to come out here and regain everything and be a different pitcher.
And the reason why?
Well, you don't put up the numbers that he's had and not be very, and obviously he just had the bad first inning. I think part of it maybe was the fact that it was a long top half inning. You didn't really concentrate on those 8 warm-up tosses. Sometimes you can even ask an umpire and say, look, it's a long time. It's been 35 minutes since I made my warm-up tosses in the bullpen. Can I get a couple extra pitches? And most time, they'll go along with it if you kind of say I'm trying to avoid an injury.
Well, the last time that we were together and doing a game was last week, before it had been announced that the Cardinals were thinking about moving Khalil Green to third base. And one of the reasons why is Brendan Ryan has played very well at shortstop defensively. And they're trying to get something out of that trade, so they'll move Khalil Green to third base, it looks like.
Khalil really wasn't showing a lot of range at shortstop, so maybe you put him over there in reactionary position. But we understand that he could be activated later this week.
And that is hit out of play. You take a look at Zach Greinke. Here's a guy that was ready to quit the game. And they just told him get away from the game of baseball as the eye is still out in Big Mac land. And now he's considered one of the best pitchers in the game. Shallow left, 2 outs. You're hoping that that's going to be the case with Khalil Green, and Dontrell Willis is another case.
Well, and Joey Votto, who in his case, was hitting 350 and succumbed to that same anxiety disorder. And whether Khalil's dealing with frustration, where the other guys Votto's having trouble dealing with success.
That is hammered out to right field. Ordonez is back over his head and off the wall. A double for Colby Rasmus. Now first base open again. Different score though. 4-0 when they pitch to Pujols here.
Fastball and see a little tailing action moving out there. Hear the booing as another intentional pass for Albert. By the way, Dan, I had a great time yesterday with competing against the Albert Pujols All-Stars. I didn't get the loss this year.
By the way, I heard you balked twice.
Yeah, well, that umpire, is he's being paid a visit by my friends. But
that's great.
Tony La Russa yanked me. He yanked me, and Mike Matheny got the loss. The Bulldogs lost again to the Albert Pujols All-Stars. 21-20.
And there is Duncan looking at a ball outside. Bernie Miklasz, the Post-Dispatch, talked about what may happen with the future of Albert Pujols. Sign him right now. And it was an outstanding article written by Bernie as that's hit foul. And he wrote what a lot of people in town and baseball are thinking, that are Cardinal fans. Certainly Albert is an iconic player and you don't want to see him go anywhere. But Pujols has said he wants to have a team that's competitive around him. Cardinals again are competitive this year, but how good can they be this year and beyond?
I think it's Albert put the organization on notice that, you know, money's not the major objective. You play for less money here in St. Louis, but, you know, he wants winning. It's all about winning. And in order for him to sign long-term, I mean, there's still, what, 3 more years.
But again, that price tag keeps going up and up and up. And I think that's one of the points that Bernie was making. It was an article that was very well written in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. When we come back, the Hall of Famer, the great Ozzie Smith, will be with us. Top of the lineup for Detroit, and it's 4-0 St. Louis, a rematch of the 2006 World Series. And the great Ozzie Smith is with us. He's teaming up with Bank of America, which is the official bank of Major League Baseball, and the Cardinals. And if this is a quick inning, Ozzie, you're sticking around, because that means I get to talk to you and I don't have to talk to Al. Don't tell Al that. Good to see you, Ozzie.
Good to see you.
How are you?
All right. Now let me preface this. If those guys get on me about
who's those guys?
You know the guys in the box, in the booth,
in the truck.
In
okay.
the truck.
Yep.
If they get on me, I'm going to get up and I'm going to walk out. So you better
don't listen to him. When you were doing games, you probably didn't listen to him anyway.
I did not.
The great Ozzie Smith is with us, and here they go. This is all them. Look at this. They're 42 miles an hour.
42. Oh God. That was as hard as I can throw it.
Well, you had to reteach yourself how to throw it, and not many people knew that at the end of your career, didn't you?
That's right. You know, I'm always asked the question, you know, what was my greatest accomplishment in the game? And my greatest accomplishment was playing from 1985 to 1996 with a torn rotator cuff.
It's unbelievable.
It was one of those things that, you know, you had to build the muscles up around the area and stuff, but I was able to do it and really continue to play at a pretty high level.
Pretty high?
Pretty high.
I'd say very high. Hall of Fame level.
It was good.
Ozzie, I don't know if you noticed, but the reception here at the ballpark for you throwing out the first pitch, it's one of the loudest we've had all year. These people miss you. Come on back to the ballpark. We want to see you around here.
Well, I'm certainly going to be around here for the All-Star game. I'm doing the work, and that's what today has been about, you know, making people aware of the Fan Fest and how exciting that's going to be, because it gives kids and grown-ups alike the opportunity to stand in and see what it feels like to hit against a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And there's so much more interactive stuff. You know, they've taken this and made it into a wonderful week for families. And I think right now, ticket sales-wise, we're ahead of where New York was at the same point last year.
Is that right? Let's take a look. I believe the guys in the truck have a graphic here. So fans who sign up for Cardinals banking at banking centers will receive 4 tickets.
4 tickets and get an exclusive sneak preview of the 2009 All-Star Fan Fest. And for all the information on this, you can go visit bankofamerica.com/allstar for the details.
You told me you've been up since what, 3:30?
3:30 this morning. I had a 6:15 this morning to get started, and that's what you have to do. You know, if you're going to have a successful venture, then you got to work at it, and I'm working at it.
What about the All-Star game coming to St. Louis, Ozzie? You've been at all the All-Star games, it seems like, for the last, what, 20, 25 years? 20
years, man. It's been a long time. And, you know, when you're playing, you don't have a chance to experience Fan Fest. But since I've retired and have become a part of Fan Fest, it's an exciting time. It gives me, as an ex-player, the opportunity to get involved in the excitement that's created, and especially when it's in your city.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a chance to put St. Louis is going to be on display, and I look out here and I see how the city is really growing in the downtown area. The skyline of the city is just beautiful.
Did you know that Joe Thurston told me that his favorite player was Ozzie Smith?
You know what? I met him opening day for the first time, and he's a pretty good player. He's a throwback.
Yes, he is.
He's a throwback.
I gave him your phone number so you can thank me.
Okay.
And I said, you better call Ozzie if I'm giving you his number. He said, I'm scared. I'm not going to call Ozzie.
Telling me that you don't have to be scared.
Number 1, Ozzie Smith with us for another segment. Don't go anywhere.
Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By Aflac, we've got you under our wing. And by Casino Queen, home of the loosest slots.
Grabowski's out. You're in.
I'm in.
You're in.
Thank you. That's all it takes.
This is,
I'm in.
You're in. That was smooth.
Yeah.
Here's Ricky Ankiel. Well, tell me what you think about this team, this edition of the 09 Cardinals, and how much have you seen of them this year?
Well, I'm going to tell you, they've had it kind of tough because, first of all, when you lose a Chris Carpenter for as long as they did.
Good play by Cabrera to Verlander, and Ankiel is safe.
When you have to deal with the loss of a Carpenter, you got to really fight to hang close. And then you've had the situation where your regular shortstop, you got to fill in. I think Brendan Ryan has done a great job of filling in. Here's a classic case of that window of opportunity opening and being ready when that window of opportunity presents itself. Sometimes it's a very small window, but you've got to be ready to go through it. It's the thing that I talk to young kids. It's the thing that I talk to my kids about. That when that window of opportunity opens, you got to be ready to step through it. And Brendan Ryan has certainly been that. I hear there's talk about moving Khalil over to third base now, and that transition should be pretty good because as a middle infielder, you should have the ability, the hands anyway, to play any of the corner positions. And you don't have as much time, but you don't have to think as much either.
Sure. The great Ozzie Smith is with us. I would do anything to be a fly on the wall. Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, not just for you, but for any of the guys going in, and some of the conversations among the Hall of Famers. What is that like when you go back to Cooperstown and you're sitting in the middle of Hank Aaron and Willie Mays and all these guys?
I'll tell you, I was sitting with Orlando Cepeda and Juan Marichal last year and Tony Gwynn. And we sit there and we laugh. We laugh because they come up with these stories, man, that you wouldn't believe. And it's just a great time because I never thought of myself in the same vein as those guys. And here I am sitting down listening to them tell these wonderful stories.
Well, give me a guy that you go, I can't believe I'm sitting down and talking with this guy. Because for all these guys, you're that guy.
Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax, man, I grew up catching the bus out to Dodger Stadium, watching him throw, man. And there's Sandy sitting there, and you look over there, there's Willie with his glasses on top of his head saying, "Where? Anybody seen my glasses?" It's just so wonderful, man. And to be able to sit there and talk to Orlando Cepeda and Juan Marichal and Tony Gwynn, of course. Tony and I have always been very good friends. And it's just a wonderful time, man. And it's just us. It's just us. So we can talk about anything we want to talk about. We talk about people. We do everything. It's just a great time. It's a fun evening, and it's just dinner with the guys.
Ozzie Smith with us. Give me a guy that you like to watch now that's playing. You say, and I know you're busy because you're all over the place. You're playing golf. You're taking that up. Your handicap probably now single digits, right? Close.
I'm 7. Yeah,
you can fudge.
Yeah,
it's okay. 7. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Ankiel is picked off. Now Molina's got to move up on the play to second. He is. And Ankiel only play is to get tagged out as he runs into the fielder. But give me a guy that you like to watch now. You'll stop and say, I either want to see that pitcher, I want to see that fielder. Obviously, you're known for defense.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be very, very honest here. I think that we here in this town, because we've always had stars, we become a little lackadaisical. Having the opportunity to watch an Albert Pujols play, I'm not sure that people really
realize
what you're seeing.
Sure.
Because when you look at his numbers over the first 9 years of his career, it's off the chart. And to me, he's the perfect example of what winning is all about. He brings it to the ballpark every day. You know what you're going to get. He realizes that winning is much more than getting a big hit or making a great play. He realized that his presence in the lineup is something that is more valuable because him at 50% is probably psychologically going to be better for the team, better than somebody at 100%.
Best hitter you've ever seen, Albert?
Probably the best that I've ever seen. Especially from a clutch standpoint. It just every day it's the same thing over and over. Much like a Kobe Bryant. You look forward to Kobe Bryant or Tiger Woods. Those guys, you expect certain things from them, and day in and day out they give it to you.
People may not know this about Ozzie Smith, and I love saying this to now anybody listening and watching tonight, is that Brian Bartow has told me this, and a couple of your former teammates have said this to me, that when you guys, and I saw this with McGuire, I see it with Pujols, the autograph seekers, the picture takers, that when you would show up, Ozzie Smith would sign every single autograph at the hotel, at the ballpark. No fan was left without an Ozzie Smith autograph, and that you took pride in doing that. And the people I've talked to said you're the best they've ever seen with the fans.
Well, you know what? Let me say this, and what I've always tried to do is sometimes, and sometimes we forget because we do it so much. We forget that this may be the only chance that this person has to meet me. You know, sometimes I think I've signed every autograph here in St. Louis, but there are the times that people get a chance to see me for the first time. I want that to be a good experience. I don't want them walking away saying, hey, you know what? I asked that guy for an autograph and I didn't get it.
Sure.
You know, now, it's impossible sometimes to sign all of them, but I do the very best that I can.
Always a pleasure.
Dan, thank you.
Love seeing you.
All right.
The Hall of Famer, Ozzie Smith. 4-0 after 3. Well, great to visit with Ozzie Smith, and don't forget, baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head for one spectacular night. Summer's biggest event. Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Joe Buck and Tim McCarville have the call coming up on Fox Sports. It's 4-0 St. Louis, and that pitch is taken up and in by Miguel Cabrera.
There were some of the scouts that saw Cabrera in the World Baseball Classic. He said it looked like for the first time he worked out in the offseason, and his numbers reflected.
Well, he looks in good shape, doesn't he?
Well, that's it. I mean, he just is one of the premier players in the league, and people question his work ethic, but you can't say that this year.
It's always a thrill for me to visit with Ozzie Smith. For me, Al, and for people my age, mid-30s, 40s, that's the guy. You know, you grew up watching Ozzie Smith, and for people that are older than that, that was the guy. I mean, he was so much fun to watch. Unbelievable defensive player. And growing up in St. Louis, you think about those great teams in the 1980s and the trade that brought Ozzie Smith to St. Louis.
And how remarkable that he was able to play at such a high caliber for 10 years with a torn rotator cuff.
We talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, because of his athleticism, the way he played the position, unlike anybody else, he was able to compensate, you know, for that shoulder injury.
That's a base hit by Cabrera, and also turned himself into a very nice offensive player too. Collect the third in a series of 5 historical All-Star Game lapel pins. This Thursday, June 18th, the Cardinals and the Tigers, 25,000 fans ages 16 and over, will receive the pin, a tribute to the 1957 All-Star Game, courtesy of Bank of America.
And when Ozzie was in his prime, I mean, he wasn't quite the same offensive player, but he took away 2 runs almost every single game.
When you think about the Ozzie Smith home run, and I talked to Todd Worrell and Jack Clark, both those guys today, and I said, give me your favorite moment when you were playing with Whitey Herzog's outstanding teams in the 80s. And it wasn't personal moments for them. They both mentioned the Ozzie Smith home run. They said now it was made even extra special because of Jack Clark's call, and you know, the players loved it. But they said that was just such a shocking, thrilling moment. That's the one that stands out. I said, wait a minute, Jack, what about 1985 and your home run to beat the Dodgers? And he said that was up there, and they may go to the World Series on that one, said Jack Buck.
What you expected from Jack Clark.
And I still remember, I think my favorite part of that outside of the call is watching Pedro Guerrero in left field throw down his glove. No one talks about that. I think it's hysterical.
In Dodger Stadium, when he saw the ball go over his head off the bat of Jack,
right,
you know, he slams his glove down. And you always mention that to me.
Pujols will get the lead runner, stayed with it, and that's the first out. Probably wouldn't have been able to turn 2.
I'm not sure I wouldn't rather have Cabrera. He would have been at second base, though, but Gunderson might find himself there, and that'd be a good test for Molina's throwing arm.
How about Molina getting picked off at second? Tables were turned. You don't see that.
can't say anything because you were doing your interview and I didn't see it.
Good.
So see, he's still perfect in my mind.
And this pitch is hit high in the air. Playable. Duncan over and makes the catch. And Brendan Ryan that time was slowing up as he was going out by his left fielder.
Duncan might run him over, you know, but you go out there and then all of a sudden I'm sure he hears Duncan calling and he made sure that he didn't run into that freight train.
And that is a freight train coming at you. Duncan told me though the other day he's actually tried to be, well, I don't know if non-aggressive is the right word because it's not, but at least more cautious with running into the wall or a collision at the plate, because he knows if that would happen, a serious injury could take place after his radical neck surgery. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Laird. And that's popped up. Molina will give chase and runs out of room.
The only thing that you worry about that, Dan, you know, trying to play a little more under control or back off a little bit from Duncan, is the body has an amazing way when you go full contact of preparing itself for a collision or something, and rarely does an injury result. Just think how horrific it looked like when Ankiel ran into the wall, stumbled and ran into the wall. But when you back off a little bit, you kind of lose that defense mechanism. Stole that one off of Wainwright if the batter wouldn't have fouled it off.
Milwaukee leading in their game over the Indians. Bottom of the 6th, 4-3. That was a wild game yesterday. Progressive Field. And there's a look at Ricky Ankiel, who now a couple of times has gone to great lengths to make catches in the center field near that wall.
Helps when the ball's hit there near the center field wall.
And there is a swing and a miss. For nothing Cardinals. It's time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. And here is Adam Wainwright. He'll lead it off, and the first pitch is swung on and missed at 94. Pitch number 59 from Justin Verlander, and we're underway here in the bottom of the 4th, and the Cardinals lead it with 4 runs in that first inning. And that's fouled back and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. We're talking about Ozzie Smith before. He made himself into a nice offensive player as well.
He really did. At the end of his career, I don't know if he'd get mad if he said this, but I thought he was a better offensive player.
And that is lined fair off the bat of Wainwright, and a wide turn around first base. He had to find the bag and winds up at second.
See the line right down here, just stays fair right on the line.
That's the Hot Shots Exmo Cam presented by Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. So nobody out, and a leadoff double for Adam Wainwright. Here's Brendan Ryan. Mentioned to Ozzie, you got a loud ovation from the folks here at the ballpark. They would love to see him back more.
I was just thinking the same thing, Dan. You know, these fans want to see him back on more of a regular basis, and And that will happen in time.
Brendan Ryan at the plate with a runner at second.
Cardinals have been so good at recognizing their Hall of Famers and bringing them back for different occasions.
It's bunted in the air, but bunted foul. Talk about the new players that come over, and Bob Gibson makes his way through the clubhouse. You'll see Stan the Man on certain days. Red Shandy stresses out for every Cardinal home game. He'll make some road trips. I mean, you just don't get that anywhere else. And here it's everyday occurrence to see the Hall of Famers walking around the ballpark, shaking hands, saying hello.
Lou Brock, Bob Gibson, the redhead.
The Cardinals have done a very good job making sure that the alumni feel welcome and coming back to the ballpark. As Brendan Ryan is retired at a sacrifice this Friday, or rather Friday, June 26th. Make sure to bring the family to Busch Stadium. It's Merrimack Caverns night. All kids 11 and under receive a coupon good for one admission to Merrimack Caverns Cave Tour and boat ride. It may be hot outside, but always a cool 60 degrees inside the cave.
Righty and a lefty warming up in the Tigers bullpen. And the infield coming in for the play at the plate with Wainwright at third and Schumacher at the plate.
And Skip tonight is 1 for 2. He's fly to left and also double.
Ryan Perry and Nate Robertson are the two relievers warming up.
One ball, one strike. This at bat was the first time he did not swing at the first pitch. Up the middle, base hit. 5-0 Cardinals. RBI number 19 for Skip Schumacher. And he's 2 for 3.
Justin Verlander 8-0 in interleague play. And right there, a little breaking ball, but it's a hanger. Stays up in the zone, just hit right back up the middle and through. Cardinals are doing something that nobody in the American League could do in the last 9 starts. That's putting a beating on Verlander.
There's the changeup that time, and Rasmus out front. He is doubled and also flied out to left. Verlander with that great fastball that can hit triple digits. Very good breaking ball. And for a while, people were wondering what is going on with this guy. He was not as sharp as they had seen him when he first arrived on the scene, but he's back. But not tonight. He's down 5-0.
Big winner the first couple of years. Last year, just 11-game winner. Is won 35 games his first 2 years. Last year 11-7. But here's that pitch up there where it's a high level. Hitters see it so well, they chase it and they can't catch up to it.
Jose Oquendo was just talking to the third base umpire as one of the catchers ran out from the Detroit dugout to their bullpen. Pujols has been intentionally walked twice. You see the Firestone leaderboard, total base leaders. Albert at 151. And Ozzie said best hitter he's ever seen right here at the plate. Hard to argue with that.
It's been around a long time, and we talk about once in a generation type hitter.
Two outs and a runner at first, and Pujols a little late with that swing at 95 miles an hour from Verlander. 0-2. But you go back to the game Saturday, Eric Wedge elected to pitch to Pujols, and that's the difference in the game. He single-handedly won that game. 0-2. And he waves at that pitch and strikes out. So Verlander double the strikeouts in the inning, but the Cardinals add to the lead. It's 5-0. 5-0. Top of the 5th rolls in here at Busch Stadium. Let's turn to this date in history, brought to you by Schnucks. The Reds, Tom Seaver no-hits the Cardinals 4-0. First Tom Seaver pitched for the Mets, and the Mets have never had a no-hitter in franchise history. Cliff Lee nearly pulled it off against the Cardinals on Sunday night.
Was it the 8th inning when Molina got the first hit?
It was, and it was a fly ball to right. Not much was made of it, but I really felt that Shin-Soo Choo, the right fielder, had a better chance to catch that ball than maybe it turned out, as Molina wound up getting the base hit. If that catch is made, you never know, but Cardinals would wind up getting 2 more hits in the game, but shut out. 3-hit shutout.
Josh Anderson is now going to pinch hit.
So Anderson will pinch hit for Verlander. Leadoff base hit for Santiago. And Robertson continues to throw. 4 innings, 8 hits, and 5 runs allowed by Verlander. That's not what we expected tonight.
No, and I'm sure that, you know, Cleveland was expecting a little more from Carpenter too. I mean, if you can have one, you know, off night every 10 starts, I think every team will take that.
First pitch and a ground ball, base hit. Santiago will stop at second. First and second. Hannah Sophia Hyatt is the newest member of our Fox Sports Midwest family. Dan Hyatt, outstanding researcher, his wife Mandy, and a brand new baby. Congratulations. Well, they went through a real hard time there for a while, but everybody's healthy, and that's great news, and congratulations to the Hyatts. That's great. But Dan, don't rest on it, because we need more notes. We didn't have notes today. Al could barely make it through the first 5 innings, as Dan was a slacker today.
That's why I had to take the time off
for Ozzie.
Bring in Ozzie just because couldn't make it through.
You're pretty good if you can not get notes and bring in a Hall of Famer to help out. First and second, nobody out, and the Cardinals leading 5-0. That's taken upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is the top of the order, and Don Kelly, who tripled to start this game, also grounded out back in the 3rd to Albert Pujols, then flipped to Adam Wainwright. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Pulled foul. Your thoughts on Wainwright here tonight thus far?
Well, I've really liked a lot more what I've seen in the fact that the velocity has been there. You know, more consistently, he's throwing the ball harder. It seems like his curveball has been much sharper. And he really showed you something in the first inning after a leadoff triple, keeping them off the board.
And a swing and a miss. After just joining us, that arguably was the big inning in this game, even though the Cardinals in the bottom of the 1st would score 4, but by him getting out of that jam really set the tone.
Breaking ball there, but does a good job of keeping it down and away. You know, you're not going to get hurt on that pitch at all, and the bonus of the strikeout.
Here's Polanco, and he caught him looking back in the 1st with a runner at 3rd and nobody out. Polanco out in front, pops it up. Pujols near the Cardinal dugout, reaches over and makes the catch. So here we go again with what could turn into a dangerous situation for the Cardinals, and Wainwright is an out away from pitching out of the jam.
I've always said that, you know, you can't fully appreciate a pitcher until you see him getting a little bit of a jam, and all of a sudden you find out that they have a little more velocity in reserve. The breaking ball is that much sharper, but it's just that mental tenacity where they'll dent, but you can't break them.
So 2 outs and 2 on. Here is Maglio Ordonez. Again, only 2 home runs this season. And that pitch is a strike. Curveball in there for strike 2.
Some of these Tigers will kind of act like they haven't seen the curveball like this. But there's a very good pitch.
And an 0-2 pitch. Blocked by Molina. Chance to go to second. And they don't get him. Schumacher thought they had him. And so did Yachty. And so did 40,000 plus. Instead, now 2 runners in scoring position and a wild pitch by Adam Wainwright. Boy, that was close.
Sure was. Looked like the throw beat him. Does the tag get down? And he's good call by Guccione.
That's a great call.
Very good call. As he right there, he saw the hand got to the bag ahead of the tag.
Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. Location 1 block south of the ballpark with our Exmo Cam. Ordonez 0 for 2. A base hit, and he would get Detroit on the board.
He had no chance of getting the lead runner, and the trailing runner, you know, sometimes and that's Anderson. He can't get a good jump because he has to wait and respond and see if the man in front of him goes. So it was a smart move by Yachty to throw to second.
Here's a 2-2. Just got a piece. .75 pitches here tonight. A 2-2. Been going with that fastball, and it looks like Ordonez is having a little problem catching up with it.
And he's worked him over with a breaking ball, and sometimes you get in the back of your mind, you're conscious of, don't want to look bad on a knee buckler, so then you get a little tardy on the fastball.
Here's a 2-2. Ground ball. Brendan Ryan to his left, collects himself, makes the play. Detroit strands 2 midway through 5, and it's 5-0. Let's take a look at our Bud Light What's on Tap. Bud Light, the difference is drinkability. And when you walk into Aggie's entrance for Game 2 tomorrow night, first person you'll see, Aggie Siriati.
Kindest, sweetest young lady.
That
All
is
these wonderful people work here.
That's Aggie's Lobby. That's what it's called. It's named here at the ballpark after Aggie Siriati. That is Aggie's Lobby, the nicest lady you will meet down here at the stadium. We need to make sure that we change that green sweater that seems like she's always wearing that in our promos.
And isn't that what the first thing she asked us? What was I wearing?
She always had. She stops us. As you see our Chevy call to the bullpen, Nate Robertson is in, and she'll say, Dan, Al, hold on. I've got a lot of phone calls. People said they saw me last night. What was I wearing? Aggie, we hate to tell you, but it's the same shot that we've taped since probably week 1. So we're going to have to freshen that up a little bit, but she looks great nonetheless.
She is the best.
Duncan with a second base hit on the night.
Off the bat, or off the arm of a left-hander here. That's a good plus sign. Both times going with the pitch, pitching him away, and he's not stubborn, going with that pitch and hitting the ball out to left field.
Nate Robertson was acquired by the Tigers from Florida. Mark Redmond was part of that deal in 2003. This will be his 18th appearance. He has also pitched in their starting rotation. He was a 12-game winner in 04. He went 13-13 in their 06 championship team. And last season he was 7-11. Initially he was selected by the Chicago White Sox. Drafted 2 times by the White Sox. Initially in '95. Did not sign. Then went back in the draft and was selected by the White Sox. This time in the 15th round back in 1998. And that's a base hit for Ricky Ankiel. So the first 2 have reached, and it's a 2-hit night for both Duncan and Ankiel. So the lefty's going the other way against the lefty.
Nate has been in the rotation at times this year, but really struggling out of the bullpen right now. Last 5 outings, an ERA near 12, as he's allowed 9 hits and a couple walks in 5 1/3 innings.
And here is Yadier Molina, 2 for 2, a couple of singles, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. If you're just joining us, he had the at bat of the night in this ball game back in the first inning against Verlander. He fought off some very tough pitches and wound up looping a little single down the right field line that scored 2. That got the ball rolling for the Cardinals.
It really was an outstanding at bat, and good half dozen pitchers' pitches that he just either threw the bat at or just got a little piece of to stay up there. And then even the base hit that he got, it was off the shoe tops. So it was a ball down and away, and he just flared it out into the right field area.
So 2-0. And nobody out here for the Cardinals in the 5th. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. Joe Thurston is on deck.
Ryan Perry is warming up. He's another extremely hard thrower. And he was signed by the Tigers out of last year's draft. First round, 21st pick overall.
When you think of hard throwers, how about Zamaya and Fernando Rodney out there for Detroit? Those guys can flat out bring it. Bases loaded here for the Cardinals. Back-to-back singles by Duncan and Keel, and now a walk to Molina, and brings in Thurston.
Rick Knapp, the pitching coach for Detroit, long time was he the pitching coordinator in the Twins organization. Came over here to try and get these guys to throw more strikes, and it's worked for the most part.
Cardinals Care jerseys off our backstay is Saturday, June 27th. That's the first of 2 of those they'll have this year. All fans who make a $1 donation to Cardinals Care receive a scratch-off ticket. Every ticket is a winner, and the grand prize is a game-worn jersey signed for you on the field by a current Cardinals player. It's always a big, big day. The jerseys off our backstay to benefit Cardinals Care. Michael Hall, the director of Cardinals Care. As you see the outfield and the defensive alignment here for Thurston. And that pitch is taken low. 5 straight balls thrown by Nate Robertson.
Just remember what the other 2 left-handed batters did this inning. They took that outside pitch and hit it to left field. And what we talk about, holding that front shoulder, don't letting it fly open, whether you're a pitcher or a hitter.
Nice play by Tony La Russa with his cap. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mentioned that Tony, made an appearance last night at the Albert Pujols All-Star game. Thurston was there. P.J. Walters, of course, Matheny and Kerry Robinson, Mabry. See the excitement on those kids' face, those Down syndrome kids. It's just amazing. And then with all the rain, we were out at Mike Matheny's field. That his Catch 22 Foundation is built for a synthetic field that for wheelchair access and everything else.
It's a rubberized field,
Yeah.
so that's tremendous.
Probably the last batter that Robertson will face here.
And ball 4 taken inside. 6-0 Cardinals on the bases loaded walk to Thurston. Jim Leland has seen enough. Robertson has come in, has not recorded an out. Back-to-back singles and back-to-back walks.
And Perry should be the pitcher coming in as part of a double switch. It looks like you're going to bring Ordonez out of this game. Wait till you see this kid throw.
Our Chevy called to the bullpen, and here we go. Pitching change. We'll tell you all about it when we come back. It's 6-0. The Cardinals continue their 3-game series with the Tigers tomorrow night on Fox Sports Midwest. Coverage starts at 6:30 with Toyota Cardinals Live. Cardinals and Tigers tomorrow. High definition on Fox Sports Midwest. And of course, we will be in the Champions Club tomorrow night. Adam Wainwright will hit against the right-hander with bases loaded and nobody out. Wainwright has a double tonight, and Perry starts things off with a breaking ball upstairs.
Perry, 25th appearance. He's 4th among American League rookies in those appearances. He was been sent back down to AAA and then recalled on Friday. Did not make any appearances in the minor leagues, and once again he was signed out of last year's draft, a #1 pick for Detroit, 21st pick overall. And this guy is, I saw him in spring training. He's got quite the arm.
Look at that. The ball just explodes out of his hand, and free and easy. That pitch at 97, 1-2 on Wainwright.
He's named the 2nd best prospect and rated as possessing the best fastball and slider in the Tigers organization by Baseball America.
One of the guys I'm really looking forward to seeing is Rick Porcello, who will get to start Thursday night.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. All 3 of these games, we're going to see exceptional young arms.
Edwin Jackson will go tomorrow. There's a check swing, and Wainwright went. So a strikeout for Perry and a double play, and he's out of it. I guess one of the things, if you're a franchise now and you've got guys like Porcello or some of the other young stars to be, you're hoping, knock on wood, could be, do you take that chance and invest that money in one player, or do you spread it out over multiple picks where that one player may cost you, let's just say, $6 million? Do you say, okay, let's take a lesser player, but signability is not the issue, and invest in other players? But the Cardinals did that early on. It's really kind of started a trend when you think about J.D. Drew and Rick Ankiel. They spent more money to have them come up.
And sometimes they weren't even the Cardinals' #1 pick, but a player that other clubs were discouraged or felt like they couldn't sign. So Cardinals would take a #1 and then take these guys, in a sandwich pick or someplace else, and then knew that they would actually probably cost more than what their #1 pick was.
2-0.
Cardinals kind of feel that's what happened with their #1 pick they got this year, that he fell down because some of the other teams, like the Nationals, they get Strasburg, they're going to have to pay him a ton of money. So then they had the 10th pick, and they take somebody that they know they can sign and won't be. So the Cardinals' #1 pick fell down to him.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. A little bit low, 3-1. And that's a strike. Pitch before was about that height, it looked like. Maybe a little bit low, but that one called a strike. Let's take a look here. The last pitch by Perry.
That looked like a strike to me. And It's in our pitch tracker strike zone.
Quite reliable is pitch
Oh,
tracker.
absolutely. And at 96.
And we should note that with pitch tracker, where you see it pop up is where it crosses the very front of the plate. So indeed, it's a strike.
I do not know the answer to this, but wouldn't you assume that that's where an umpire would be calling it too?
I think you would assume it. I wonder, though, if some umpires, where they line up, and it's a great question, Al, if they look at where it hits the mitt as opposed to maybe that little foot and a half where it actually is a strike. And these guys pitch with so much movement. There is that late movement that goes out of the zone.
But I mean, if you're trying to catch it where it hits a glove, you know, it's almost like you're waiting too long.
And then think about it, catchers will hold it.
I'll talk to these umpires and I'll find that answer.
Well, they hold it. You know, think about when they're trying to frame it and hold it. Another 3-2 pitch here to Brendan Ryan. Infield drawn in, lined into right center field. That will get down. One run is in. Molina being waved in. Here comes Thurston right on his heels. Throw to the plate, not in time. And Ryan clears them all.
And it wasn't that long ago when we were in Florida, or right before we went there, we were talking about Brendan Ryan and really only having 3 RBIs. Well, he gets 3 more right here, and now his RBI totals up to 9. As he can thank Thurston and his speed for coming all the way around from first base on that double that gets into the gap and out there to the warning track in right center.
So here is Skip Schumacher. Again, though, another approach with an at-bat with the Cardinals grinding it out. There you go back to Molina's at-bat in the first. That at-bat by Brendan Ryan fouled off a couple of 2-strike pitches. And then cleared the bases with his double. 2-0. 4 earned runs and no outs recorded by Robertson.
2 hits and 2 walks. They all come around to score.
A 2-0 pitch is fought off, and another base hit by one of those Cardinal lefties. Skip will take it, and he's had a 3-hit night.
People in the American League, they cannot believe this line score when they see it. Ball running in on him, inside out stroke, and hits the ball to the opposite field.
What's going on with Pujols?
Well, I mean, you know, maybe the kid will get good enough, but look at that. You know, he's 0 for 1 as the Cardinals have banged out 9 runs on 12 hits. Albert did have 2 intentional passes.
Rasmus up the middle. Tough to turn 2. Polanco to first, and he does. 6-4-3 on the double play. Cardinals add 4 more runs here in the 5th, and it's 9-zip. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network, AT&T. Your world delivered. And by the double cheeseburger extra value meal. Now just $2.99 at McDonald's. A gorgeous night here in St. Louis. The Cardinals with a 9-0 lead. And Adam Wainwright is cruising. Late with that swing was Cabrera. To the count. And it's held on to by Molina with the foul tip, and Cabrera strikes out. So the first out to start play here in the 6th. Tony La Russa just trying to manage along here tonight. And with Wainwright 9-run cushion. You don't have to go deep into this game, obviously, with Adam. And you're allowed to have a little flexibility with him and how deep you want to go with him in this ball game.
Well, that's a nice thing. You know, he's only thrown 80 pitches. He threw near 120. It was the second highest pitch total in his career, his last outing in Florida. But you know he wants to get to at least through this sixth inning and more.
0-2 is fouled by Curtis Granderson, who is hit into a fielder's choice and also walked. That one caught Yadier Molina. Curtis Granderson did a little TV work in the postseason for TBS and was very good. The studio show of their postseason. And now the 0-2 pitch. Curveball, line to third. Quickly 2 outs. Get your thinking caps on. Let's take a look at the Aflac trivia question. Who was the last Tiger to win the Rookie of the Year award prior to Justin Verlander? Last Tiger to do it, Lou Whitaker, back in 1978.
Remember Trammell and Whitaker?
Oh, sure. They never seemed to be apart for 2 decades. And that's a home run into right center off the bat of Brandon Inge. And Detroit gets on the board. How about Brandon Inge? 15 home runs.
15 home runs, and we're glad that that didn't happen in 06. Take a look at it, set up away, and it's out away from him. And he just drives the ball out into right center for his 15th home run.
Money.
So it's 9-1. On a hop to second, knocked down by Schumacher, and safe at first. Had a lot of English. It's an E4 on the play. How would you teach this? Because it's the kind of play, if you move in a step or two, you might take the English away with even a shorter hop. They had an odd bounce.
It's just one of those tough plays. As you said, he tried to get in there aggressively, tries to kind of smother the ball, knowing it's going to have that awkward spin. And it's about his 3rd error of the season, and one of them we disagree with.
And this is with a left-handed bat, Santiago. Pujols will play back behind the runner, and a 1-0 pitch. Ground ball, another chance for Skip. Makes that play. Tigers get on the board, and it's 9-1. Well, the Cardinals have out-hit Detroit 12-5, and they lead it 9-1. Missed out on obtaining your brick paver at Busch Stadium as interleague play continues tonight. Well, now for a very limited time, you can purchase a brick paver in one of the 3 additional greatest moments sections outside of Busch Stadium. Get the replica paver as part of it, and order today at stlcardinals.com. Here is Albert Pujols to lead off the bottom of the 6th, and the first pitch is hit out of play. Perry in for his 2nd inning of work. Pujols tonight intentionally walked twice, scored his first time, and struck out back in the 4th. The quirkiness that is interleague play, and Pujols drills one again. How about Big Mac Land? Just to the right of it. He tried to knock out the A or the C that time. Goodness. 23rd home run of the season for Albert Pujols. Wow.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the injustice that Chase Utley has passed Albert in the voting for the most votes in the National League. for the All-Star game. You know, he's still leading at his position, but Utley's got more votes now by over 100,000 more.
Where did that one wind up?
I think it moved the pillar. It had to go out that back wall. Maybe into that little archway. But it was, as you said, to the right of the hanging breaking ball. Boy, they go a long way, don't they?
Ooh.
Especially when he's swinging.
That is one of the longest home runs we've seen here at the New Busch Stadium.
There you see where it is. I would have thought it would have gone up into those archways, wouldn't you?
Goodness.
Well, the Cardinals have had protection behind Albert tonight, as Duncan is 2 for 3.
Now, Al, before I was rudely interrupted
by that home run.
By that blast, that'll get your attention real quick. 10-1 now, St. Louis. The quirkiness that is interleague play. Here we are playing the Detroit Tigers yet again, which for most fans makes 0 sense.
And most broadcasters.
As the Cardinals, years past, had played them in Detroit. First time we've seen them come here in quite some time. How about back-to-back? To the track, to the wall, and it's gone. Pujols and Duncan go back-to-back. Having some fun tonight here at Busch Stadium. His 5th of the season. Let's make it 11-1 Cardinals.
Duncan's 5th home run and 29th RBI, but it's been a while since Chris has hit a home run.
May 26 at Milwaukee, the last home run for Duncan.
And it's good to see that extension and drive. Albert can appreciate that. But then here's what you're talking about. Since 1997, 13% of the Cardinals' 181 interleague games have been against Detroit. That's trailing only percentage of games against the Royals. We played 30% of them against the Royals, but 13% against Detroit.
Now, certainly for the Kansas City Royals, it's been well documented how, you know, they benefit with the Cardinals coming west down I-70 to Kauffman Stadium. Looking forward to seeing the renovations there this weekend. As Adam Wainwright now has a 10-run cushion, 11-1 here in the 6th inning.
Maybe Adams the guy who is the magic pitcher. They got 11 runs for him in his last start.
And the idea was fan involvement, making sure that you know, they enjoyed it, and the numbers don't lie. The fans do come out for interleague play. Tickets sold are way up for these series. But it's worth noting the Cardinals have not gone to Camden Yards in Baltimore, nor have we seen Anaheim in Anaheim. They've been here.
Well, in what's 12 years, we've only seen the Yankees one time and been to Yankee Stadium one time. We went 3 years in a row to Detroit.
I can understand, you know, Kansas City, because that's your regional rival, and White Sox, Cubs, Yankees, Mets, Angels, Dodgers. But it is for the fans, and there are people paying for the tickets.
It just seems like we've been in the Central Division too many times. You know, and you know, if you want to rotate every year, you know, you're Central this year, go to the West or the East next year, and the other one, you know, and vice versa. But to have the Yankees come here one time in 12 years doesn't get it done for me.
Now, I will admit, when the Yankees came through, I was looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
that was great.
But you know, shouldn't that happen? You know, a couple times, 2 or 3 times in the 12 years.
And the Red Sox. And
exactly.
Been to Fenway Park a couple of times. Now, tomorrow on our telecast, you again will be, or Thursday, excuse me, you will be debating with Jim Hayes.
There was no debate. He lost.
Well, no, this is a new one now. Okay, don't worry. We got you down 1-0 on the first one.
Maybe I don't want to do it.
Oh, you're in.
What is it?
You have signed up. You are in. Jim Hayes is with us, and you guys will talk about interleague play. Do you like it? Do you not like it?
Well, I'm taking the pro interleague stance.
You
and
would.
Hopefully.
You've already lost.
And hopefully Al will be fair about it. Instead of taking entire half innings and stumping for his point, he'll let the viewers decide fairly.
2-2 is popped out of play. So Al, of course, you'll say what? No interleague play?
No interleague play.
You want to see maybe the West Coast teams another time? Go out there one more time in the National League West. You want to see the NL East a little bit more? No American League teams.
If this is the way they're doing interleague play, it's run its course.
2-2. And Jim, you want to give us a preview about Thursday night?
I say this is a fans game, and the fans should get what they want. And for the record, Dan,
yes,
after we gave our initial arguments in the debate, my point was way up. And then Al had to goose the vote a little bit throughout the game so that his point would get the winning total. That's how it happened.
Slowly hit towards third. And a high, wide throw, but out at first. Looked like Cabrera was at least had his foot off the bag, but 11-1, no argument for the Cardinals.
Hinch comes in here, kind of a do-or-die play, slings the ball, high throw, and Cabrera gets pulled off the bag. But as you said, 11-1, you don't really pay too much attention to it. Just like when Jim Hayes talks about his points, we don't pay too much attention to it.
That's a cheap shot, Al.
No, it's right to the juggler.
Shot.
Right to the juggler.
That's what he does, Dan. You know.
Oh, do I, Jim? 2 outs and nobody on.
Jim, rules are to be broken.
Some might say you cheated. Some might say that, Al.
You know what? You're never a cheater until you're caught.
I kind of think you were caught.
After seeing DeRosa over the weekend, wouldn't he look good in the Cardinal uniform?
Absolutely.
You guys can continue this debate later tonight after the game, and we will focus on this 11-1 game. But you've given us something really to look forward to on Thursday night. You and Jim Hayes on whether or not interleague play should stick around.
And what people really don't know is how much I admire and respect Jim Hayes.
Into shallow left center field, and the catch is made. Pujols 446 feet measured distance of his home run. Cardinals weren't done there. Chris Duncan 418 feet. A sellout here tonight, 44,021, and they're loving it. It's 11-1. Welcome back to Busch Stadium. Let's take a look at the Infinity Game recap with the Cardinals owning a 10-run lead here in the top of the 7th. Adam Wainwright, Justin Verlander. We were expecting a pitcher's duel. We haven't seen that, obviously, as the Cardinals picked up 4 in the first, 1 in the 4th, 4 more in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. They've out-hit Detroit 14-5, and they lead it 11-1. Last back-to-back home runs was in 2008, Pujols and Ludwig. Adam Wainwright at 89 pitches tonight. This is Ryan Rayburn, who took over in right field. Part of the double switch for Jim Leyland. 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Seen this a bunch tonight, haven't we? Molina, foul territory. He's got it for the first out.
You see a lot of pop-ups and swing and miss, an indication of movement. Just team having a hard time centering the ball.
There's a leadoff man, Don Kelly.
Had a little concern in the first inning, didn't we? As a single misplayed into a triple, and then with 2 outs, a couple walks before Adam finally got the final out of the inning without no runs being scored.
And a ground ball pulled to Albert.
Pulled the string there. And Adam's going to get through 7 innings without reaching the century mark in pitches.
And here is Polanco with 2 outs.
it's all said and done, I'm sure he'll be back at 300 again.
258 right now. I miss him. I mean, this guy was a very good player and perfect for the way that Tony La Russa likes to move around specific players. And Polanco played third, he played short, he played second, and he batted second in the lineup. There's a base hit out to left.
Used him as part of the Scott Rowland trade, and at that time, you know, Albert Pujols lost his closest friend on the club, but he's been a very, very good player. He knows how to play the game properly.
Marcus Thames will be the pinch hitter. Note here from big Cardinal fan Brian McCann, who says that he and his friends were looking forward to the return of Andy Van Slyke to St. Louis, as Brian had a chance to visit with Andy when he was a former player here in town, and was excited to see that Andy was the first base coach. Says Brian has his friends here, Tom and Mike, and looking forward to it. Chance to see Andy back in a major league uniform with the Tigers. And that's fouled back.
You know, Andy Van Slyke was a work in progress when he came to the big leagues with the Cardinals. You know, remember, he played a little bit of third, outfield, and Andy will tell you when he went to Pittsburgh, and remember, you know, you had to go to a second division team to where you get a chance to really kind of find out what kind of player he was going to be. You know, sometimes it's hard to bring up somebody that is not a finished product, you know, if you're trying to win pennants every year. And Andy will tell you that, you know, the Pirates brought in Bill Verdon to work with him and make him an outfielder. He hated Bill Verdon, but if you see Bill Verdon right now, the first person to go up to him is Andy Van Slyke and thank him profusely for making him the great center fielder he was.
Andy played with a lot of flash. He had a cannon for an arm. They wound up being a very important piece for the Pittsburgh Pirates and those very good teams. There's a swing and a miss. Wainwright gets the strikeout, and he is through 7.
Inside 100.
So hitting the spot. Here's the curveball from Wainwright and the strikeout. It's time to stretch. 11-1. That's a look at where we will be tomorrow. The Champions Club, Edwin Jackson and Todd Wellemeyer. And we're on the air at 6:30 from the Champions Club tomorrow. Pre-game show 6:30 will come your way at 7 with the play-by-play. The Cardinals and the Detroit Tigers in Game 2. Looking forward to that. Just outside Busch Stadium, a live look at Derek Johnson. Oversees things outside. One of the real gentlemen that you find here at the ballpark, Derek Johnson. Be hot with that coat on. It's a little warm here.
That foul footage.
No, that's a live look
live.
at Derek. Yep.
How about Jason LaRue is going to pinch hit here. P.J. Walters is warming up the Cardinals, and Brandon Lyon, the former closer for Arizona, signed with Detroit as a free agent, on the mound.
Happy birthday to Ginger Gast, 79 years young and a big Cardinal fan, and she is here tonight. Ginger Gast celebrating her birthday with her 3 boys.
Adam Wainwright is nights through in 7 good innings.
LaRue slowly hits it to short. Stay with the play for the out. Run support plenty tonight for Adam Wainwright. Wainwright among the starters for 9 innings, over 6 runs of support. At the bottom there is Chris Carpenter. He had another tough one on Sunday with Cliff Lee.
Well, we thought that was going to be a great pitching matchup like we thought this one was, and Adam didn't disappoint. And I'm sure Cardinal fans missed out on seeing how talented Verlander is. Cleveland missed the opportunity with Carpenter.
You saw glimpses of it.
Yeah.
You saw 98, 99, and late swings from the Cardinals, a couple of really tight breaking balls. But again, you go back to maybe one at bat that changed this game, and that was Molina in the first.
And that gave the Cardinals on the scoreboard with a two-run single after a lengthy at bat where Verlander made some great pitches, but Molina just kept on fouling them off. And it wasn't a mistake pitch that he gave up the base hit. It was a ball down and away on his shoot tops.
A 2-1. And Brendan Ryan hobbled a little bit, 2-2. Odd finish to that swing. Almost like his knee caught, buckled a little bit.
Setting him up. Drop down a bunt, which wouldn't be a good idea in an 11-1 game.
And not with 2 strikes either.
Brendan sometimes doesn't know how many strikes there are.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Brendan Ryan. And hits it off the end of the bat.
He's not running well at all, like you said. Something not quite right.
He's limping towards the dugout. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. So they will check on Brendan Ryan. Here's Schumacher. He's had a big night. Big Cardinal fan, Bill McKenzie. Happy 60th birthday. Watching in Perryville, Missouri tonight. Happy birthday to Bill McKenzie. Here's a 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 65 strikes tonight of the 100 pitches thrown by Wainwright. And he's in line for the victory. He would go to 7-4. Verlander would drop to 7-3. And with the kind of 6 to 8 weeks that Verlander has had here recently, you know, he's right back in that conversation as the potential Cy Young Award winner. Way early, but just you think about guys that are in that conversation right now, he and Zach Greinke. Think about this Detroit bullpen. They've got some power arms.
You kind of wonder, is it a surprise that they're leaving the Central? And you know, a year ago, everybody was conceding them the World Championship, and then they had a horrible year. This year, I think everybody thought Cleveland would be the class team in the Central, but with all their injuries, they find themselves struggling.
And Schumacher strikes out. Ends the 7th. Scoreless frame for Lyon. It's 11-1 St. Louis. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. By Bank of America. Cardinals banking only at Bank of America. And by Hyundai. Albert Pujols is out of this game. And Yadier Molina moves from behind the plate. And he's over at first. Tyler Green comes into the ball game for Brendan Ryan. Jason LaRue is the new catcher. And a new pitcher on the mound.
Well, P.J. Walters, his second stint with the Cardinals. Remember, he made his major league debut at Wrigley Field. That was April 17th. He was 2-5 with an ERA a little bit over 4 in 8 starts for Memphis. Struck out 40 in 50 innings.
And that is hammered out to left field. Welcome back, PJ. Over the bullpen and knocked out of here. Miguel Cabrera with a solo home run.
They're accustomed to seeing that swing and that result from Cabrera. (11-2), but you've got to make good pitches. Throw a ball right down the middle and he will lose it. Take the Albert Pujols home run and you take Cabrera's, and neither one of them took much time to get it out of here.
Oof. And that pitch is outside. P.J. Walters, second time that he's been with the Cardinals. And a 1-0 pitch to Curtis Granderson. Popped up left side. Playable in foul territory. Thurston is there and makes the catch.
P.J., 24 years of age. And the only blemish on Wainwright's night as he hit his 15th home run. That was in the 6th inning.
And the first pitch is taken up and in by Brandon Inge. One of the things that the Cardinals wanted to see with PJ is spots like this, be aggressive, throw strikes. Here's a 2-0 pitch. 2-1. There you go.
Very similar to the pitch that Cabrera hit out, but this time a swing and a miss.
And that pitch was up, but a ground ball. Tyler Green with it. Over to Yachty.
PJ was selected in the 11th round of the June 06 draft. Attended the University of South Alabama. He was 36-1. Prep record at Faith Alabama Academy. Right, 123 strikeouts and 4 walks. So he has the ability to throw strikes.
So Laird is aboard with a 2-out single. And it brings in Santiago. 2 outs, runner at first, 11-2 Cardinals.
PJ kind of gives you that replacement for Brad Thompson, who's done an outstanding job moving into the rotation, taking Loesch's spot. And good news on Loesch is he made about 10+ throws from 120 feet today.
I think some fans might say, why not Mitchell Boggs in this spot? And we've also heard the name Clayton Mortensen.
Mortensen recently threw a complete game for Memphis.
1 ball, 1 strike. Santiago tonight, 2 ground outs and a single. Cardinals rolling 11-2. Center field, and that's put away. Sends us to the bottom of the 8th. 11-2.
Welcome back. The Cardinals have had a little fun today, banging out 14 hits and have an 11-2 lead as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Brandon Lyon, who had a 1-2-3 7th inning, will come on for his 2nd inning of work. Throw to a new catcher. Sardina is back behind the plate is Kobe Rasmus, who is 1 for 4 on the night. Laird now is playing first base, so they have both their catchers in the game. Kobe leading all rookies in home runs and RBIs in the National League. Fouls his first pitch off. Still got a little work to do, you know, to polish off a little bit, but he seems a lot more comfortable as he's getting more and more playing time, and consistency as the weather's warmed up, so's his bat.
That was the line on Rasmus, is that would happen.
level Kobe has played at. He's always had that history of getting off to a very slow start and get things figured out. But Al McRae sees an awful lot of talent in this young man, and the rest of the National League starting to see it too.
And some believe in that conversation. National League Rookie of the Year.
Well, right now, if the vote was held right now, I think he is your.
There's just not one that's running away with it, a clear-cut favorite. How have you seen that he's been pitched? Have you seen a pattern develop yet, really, with him?
Not really. You know, change of speeds, moving the ball around a little bit. But seen him have a lot of trouble with the breaking ball.
But that, you know, that's what you get for a lot of young players, as we've seen. Here's our pitch by pitch brought to you by Chevrolet. The key at bat in this game.
Well, you see Verlander, this is back in the first inning, the bases are loaded, just goes after him with all his pitches, and look at how Molina just the 2 strikes, just trying to stay up there, looking for a mistake. Good pitcher's pitches. Another one down there, just kind of throwing the bat at, and then you saw that was the single that drove in 2 to get the Cardinals on the scoreboard, and it wasn't a bad pitch itself. Tyler Green now getting his first plate appearance. Hope everything's all right with Brendan Ryan.
And that may be the big question coming out of this game. If he's able to play tomorrow, throw up the line, hustling all the way was Green. They really took their time getting that over to first base. It's an E6 on the play. Really took his time here.
Well, what's really odd in this game is the 4 defensive plays of the Tigers. That's the 3rd error in this game, and they were tied for 2nd for the fewest errors. Santiago with the error there. They had the 2nd fewest errors in the American League.
It's surprising because it's being done by their position players and not their pitchers.
Right. In 06, we would believe it would be any pitcher would make an error.
6-4-3 on the double play, and that sends us to the 9th. 9-run lead for St. Louis after 8 here at Busch Stadium.
Cardinals leading big as we go to the 9th at Busch Stadium. Don't forget, coming up after the game on the post-game edition of U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live, Pat Paris, Rick Horton standing by. The Cardinals leaning left tonight to good effect. We'll have that. The Cardinal Tournament of Champions rolls on, and we'll have player reaction straight from the Cardinal clubhouse. It's all coming up after the game. For now, we go back to Dan and Al. Guys?
Okay, Jim, here is Rayburn. Leads it off against P.J. Walters, and that's how we start this 9th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big night for the Cardinals. 14 hits, 11 runs. Twice they plated 4 runs in an inning.
Jerry Bird would like to know more about your kids, Dan. Didn't mean to stump you.
And that's up and in. Maybe I can catch up with Sherry a little later, the winter warm-up or something. We can connect. 2-2. On the outside corner, and a strikeout to start the 9th. Hardy's prime cut of the game. Cardinals went back-to-back with home runs. There's the lefty, Chris Duncan, right after Pujols' long shot.
Remember in PJ's Major League debut, 4 innings at Chicago, he struck out 7 in that ball game. Really struggled in his first frame, and then really gutted his way through. Pitch count got way up there, but we saw those 7 strikeouts, and that was the impressive factor.
Popped up and out of play. Cardinals against Edwin Jackson tomorrow. Todd Wellemeyer, game 2 of the series, on the air at 6:30. Thursday night, Joel Pinheiro and Rick Porcello. Here's a look at Todd. And then it's off to Kansas City for the first of 3 against the Royals. Friday night on Fox Sports Midwest. Little chopper, backhanded, tough play, and he made it. How good was that at second base? Skip Schumacher.
And as that superior arm strength comes in, he's much better going up the middle than to his left.
Take a look at our Budweiser player of the game. Budweiser, the great American lager. Adam Wainwright, 7 innings and only 1 earned run, 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. Very good here tonight. Here's Polanco with 2 outs and nobody on.
Detroit, remember, they reminded me in '06 of what the Cardinals looked like in the '04 World Series. Much better team than what they displayed. Same thing with the Cardinals. Here they won 105 games and then lost 4 straight to Boston.
On their feet here at Busch, over 40,000. 1-2 pitch. Hit to short. Green up with it. Over to Yachty. Cardinals win it 11-2. Solid win for St. Louis as they pick up 14 hits, 11 runs, and win game 1 11-2 over Detroit. Post-game show coming up on Fox Sports Midwest.
Well, the game is over with a very impressive Cardinal victory over the Tigers. Rick and I standing by to bring you Cardinals Live. Rick, everything going right tonight?
Very odd 3-game homestand. One team for this whole homestand for the Cardinals. Great start for this short series here. One thing that we can see from tonight, this Cardinal team is unpredictable. I don't think anybody would have thought we'd have seen the offense tonight we saw against Verlander.
Especially against Verlander, that's right. Much more on that coming up. Plus, interleague play returns to Busch Stadium, which means only one thing. The Cardinals are playing their natural rivals, the Detroit Tigers. We'll break down game 1 of this World Series rematch. Plus, June historically has not been a kind of Adam Wainwright. Could Waino keep the Tigers caged? Bring you Tony La Russa's press conference as well. Keep it here. Cardinals Live is next.